Hello all you YouTubers out there, this is Victoria again. Today I wanted to share with you my testimony. All the Bible verses that I quote will be from the New American Standard Bible because that is my favorite version. And so this will be broken up into about 2 or 3 parts because it's rather lengthy, and bear with me while I read my notes because it's a lengthy testimony and I don't have it memorized, so you're going to have to bear with me while I refer to my notes quite often. Okay, I want to start off with my testimony. My life verse, I'm sorry. The story of my conversion is the story of this verse. And it is Joshua 24, verses 14 through 15. It says, "Now therefore revere the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in faithfulness. Put away the gods that your ancestors served beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. Now if you are unwilling to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors served in the region beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." Okay. Childhood years. My first contact with the gospel came at Reno Christian Academy. About 1975. I was around 4 years old at the time. I was there for less than a year, and my parents pulled me out after that time because I started asking uncomfortable questions, such as why they didn't go around ringing doorbells to tell people about Jesus because my teacher did. Flash forward to the teen years. I became convinced that I had committed the unforgivable sin. What I thought the unforgivable sin was any sin that you committed when you knew you were sinning. Well, we all do that every day. The concept of grace was clearly missing from this picture. This caused me to leave Christianity, but I still wanted truth and I still searched for it, and so I got involved first in the New Age, and then the New Age proved to be a stepping stone into Wicca. I practiced Wicca between about 1990 and 1996. My first ritual was a Larry Lee binding in San Francisco, Halloween of 1990. Larry Lee was a Texas televangelist who had come to pray the demons of, homosexuality, witchcraft, and a few other things out of San Francisco. At that ritual to bind Larry Lee and his prayer breakthrough, I met a girl named Mariah, and through her I got involved in Wicca. The next day on Halloween, itself was Larry Lee's prayer breakthrough at the Civic Center. My friend Mariah and I had managed to get into the prayer breakthrough, and once we were inside, I wanted to stay, but she wanted to leave, and so we did, and we ended up at the Budapest's Halloween ritual. We didn't have any money to get in, so we told them we would help clean up afterwards, and because of that, we missed the last bus home. We ended up walking about 16 or 17 blocks down to the main bus terminal and spent the night there. That was not fun, and we took the first bus out the next morning. Summer solstice, June of 1991. I became homeless the next day after that summer solstice ritual that I attended. My parents wanted me to work to get summer work, and I didn't want to, and so they kicked me out of the house. And obviously I let my pride get the best of me because that was not the right reaction on either of our parts. I was homeless in Berkeley for about 1.5 years between 1991 and 1993. I arrived around the autumn equinox, and I started attending rituals. I'm not sure if I attended any autumn equinox rituals or not, but I definitely attended Halloween rituals, and I plunged in both feet first because I needed something to believe in and something to hold on to during that very difficult time in my life. I found my coven in 1992 by asking for rides home after rituals, and pretty soon the same people start giving you rides over and over. And So I met this one couple who lived very close to where I was staying. I was homeless, but I had a tent that I was staying in a backyard, and they were very close to there. I showed up twice when just to hang out and talk to them on nights that they were doing rituals, and after the second time they decided that that was the goddess's way of saying that I should become a member of their circle, and so I did. And I became a member of their circle in April of that year, which would be April of '92. And of course, God, of course, did not want me doing all of this, and of course I didn't care at the time, because all I cared about was what I wanted, and what I wanted was paganism. I worshipped other gods, which is wrong. Jeremiah 44 verses 2 through 3 not only says that worshipping other gods is wrong, but what happens when we do. And that set reads, "Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, you yourselves have seen all the disaster that I have brought on Jerusalem and on all the towns of Judah. Look at them, today they are a desolation without an inhabitant in them, because of the wickedness that they committed, provoking me to anger, in that they went to make offerings and serve other gods that they had not known, neither they, nor you, nor your ancestors." I also practiced divination during that time, which is also wrong. Hosea 4:12 says, "My people consult a piece of wood, and their divining rod gives them oracles. For a spirit of whoredom has led them astray, and they have played the whore, forsaking their God." My first solitary ritual was March 7th of 1993, and that was a big step forward for me, because it meant that I now had the power in my hands, and I did not have to depend on a high priest and high priestess to do the rites and rituals of Wicca. The major Wiccan events in my life were my dedication on May 3rd of 1992. This date is important, remember it, May 3rd. And my initiation took place on May 23rd of 1993. Now, eventually I realized that I had to go back to my dad and that I couldn't make it on my own. I needed help, and so, like the prodigal child story in Luke 15, I humbled myself and I went back to my dad and I asked for his help, and he helped me to get into Chico State University, which I attended from 1993 to 1995. Chico State was a real test of faith for me, because I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be back in the Bay Area where all my friends were. While I was there, I had contact with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. Jody, who was an InterVarsity member, became a really good friend of mine, and I occasionally went to their Bible studies. I was lonely, and I knew that these people had something that I wanted. In early 1995, I began reading the New Testament. I don't know why, I just felt a need to do that. I moved back to San Francisco. I transferred to San Francisco State University in the fall of 1995, and I met a man named Jim from Colorado in late 1995 on the internet. He was a liberal Christian, and he told me that Christianity would be my path, and of course I just scoffed at him. But God rewards truth-seeking, and so he had worked with me over the past several years to soften my heart and bring me to him. Deuteronomy 4:28 through 31 sounds as if it were written about me. And I'm going to stop here and start part 2. Thanks.